And we are live. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Take the Initiative, Season 15, our first top 8 match. We've got Mars here and Ferrx. And I'm joined here by Wayun98. You want to say hi?
Hello, everybody.
Wayun's been doing a lot of work to make these streams happen. I think this is the first time we've done one together.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to point out. First time also for me ever to duo cast anything. So really looking forward to this.
So Mars was just the runner-up of the past season. And
also on the he was also on Anakin Colossus then. So I think he knows the deck very well.
Absolutely. A few differences in the list. Let me pull up the list on stream. You probably won't be able to see them on your end, Wayun, but this is Mars's list.
I have them for myself.
They're on Substack in the description if you want to take a look at them for yourself, viewers. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how different this is from his list last season, but it's at least a few cards different.
So we do see lots of hand hate, right? We do see the draw engine that he obviously desperately needs for going with Colossus. Mars has been on Colossus for many months now, and so he has been not going with the trend of people reverting back to the 30 hit point standard blue base. And he also took down a PQ in Switzerland, I think 2 weeks ago, with Anakin Colossus. So I believe he knows the deck inside out by now.
All right, and I'm gonna flash Ferrx's list here, but it looks like they're actually getting started, so we're gonna go back to the.
Oh right, yes. So Ferrx on Poe Dameron ECL, right? So this should be interesting. As you know, Poe has won a PQ as well recently, and so really looking forward to seeing how Ferrx is playing this out. Some people say, Sabine is the better Poe. So let's see what Ferrx makes of it.
Yeah, their deck list title is Sabine Conversion Therapy.
Yeah.
They are gonna have a lot of hit points to fight through on this 35-point Colossus.
True, and Ferrx decides to go Poe Pilot turn 2 first action. I guess when you're Poe, that's what you want to do. On the other hand, there is risks involved, such as an easy upgrade removal there. But
like
Mars doesn't have it. Yeah. And so Poe will get in 5 damage here.
Kind of like a 1-cost wing leader.
Also interesting to see here, Mars using the X-Wings draw ability actually drew into an Concord Dawn here. And now he draws into an Open Fire and Daring Raid. So he now definitely has some answers to Ferrx's space.
Yeah, if he plays both of those, he can take out both of Ferrx's units.
Right. Mars with the initiative here. Also, I'll be looking forward to, to seeing how Ferrx handles post flip turn, because one of the magic moves is that even though the Poe leader is removed as an upgrade from the space arena, he can actually deploy to ground in the same action phase, as long as I think he's a 6 resource flip, right? So as long as is he 6? I'm not sure. I actually need to check.
No, he's 5. 6. He's 5. Or Poe is 5.
Yeah. So, but we're not on 5 yet. We're on 4 for now. So, and Poe cannot redeploy in the same action phase if he has been removed. Yeah. So that's not something we're going to see at this point. But Ferrx gets some damage in here, pushing Anakin to 10, which often is not something Anakin minds, right? It will just make that leader stronger.
Yeah, I've seen Anakin players intentionally damage themselves for no reason, just to
exactly
get the damage on there.
And there's the Open Fire to clear Ferrx's board. He's not going to like that. So going into turn number 4, both players on 5 resources.
This could be a nice blue leader here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Poe also comes down. And the red Poe from Shadows is just such a strong card, right? Funnily enough, Ferrx has one. Yeah, Ferrx has one on hand himself. He can deploy the leader this turn, but he's not doing it. He's probably, he would get run over by Poe straight away. He would only be able to push those 4 damage.
Yeah, I think Ferrx just wants to take initiative here to be able to remove that Poe.
That makes sense. And I mean, hit overwhelm for 6, right?
Yeah, it'll be for 6.
So 5 damage pinged with the Wrecker ability onto Poe Dameron makes him a 6/1, and then the overwhelm, the 7 bomb Wrecker with 1 hit point remaining on that Poe gives Mars 6 damage to base here. Yes, moving from 13 to 19.
And so now this is the Anakin flip turn, and Anakin here would be flipping as a as plus 3 at the moment. If he takes 1 more damage, or if he uses the Anakin on himself, it'll be plus 5 or plus 4.
Right.
And if the blue leader attacks, it's plus 5.
Right. So they are indicating that with that many side die, right? Yes, and I was expecting the village protector here, but it doesn't kill the blue leader.
And if this Anakin doesn't run over the Poe, then the Poe could kill the village protector.
Right. And I'm sure Mars is very careful here to bring his Anakin down to 3 hit points, which would happen if he runs into the Poe. So Ferrx is playing this nicely, I think. Giving Mars something to think about. That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
So Mars goes to base. That's bringing down that Poe also to just 4 hit points and takes out the blue leader with daring raid. That's something that I'm sure Ferrx wasn't hoping for. But he has a timely on hand, so he can actually timely the Poe that he has on hand this turn.
Yeah, pretty costly in terms of cards, but it gets rid of the Anakin.
Yeah. And that's what you want to do against Anakin, right? So I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing here.
Yep.
Oops. Ah, yeah, that was the discard.
Oh yeah. Okay. So he's gonna cause a discard also.
So he decides to use 2 of Poe's abilities, 2 damage to the Anakin leader, and discard 1 card from hand. And Mars says he values the Concord Dawn higher than the Arc. That's interesting because the Arc is allowing him to do a little bit of healing, right? And there's no space threat for now, but I guess... is he rethinking that? Yes. I would have gone for the Arc here, so I think that makes a lot of sense.
All right, so despite the fact that Ferrx has done 10 more damage, they're actually even in terms of remaining health.
Right. So Mars probably both players are hoping for different cards to draw into here.
Yeah, this is... Ooh, Ferrx is going to resource. Does Ferrx have a Cassian in the row, maybe?
Probably. Well, even if he does, I'm not sure I would resource here. rethinking his decision as well.
And if you were, it'd probably be the Masterpiece. You could play 2 cards.
Right. Yeah, the fourth throw will at least, if Mars plays the fourth throw here, and I think he doesn't have a lot of options. Also, given that Cassian is already on board, a second Cassian from the row wouldn't probably be the play here. We just see the Cham here to get a 5/4 unit on board. And again, I think Ferrx is doing the right things here, playing the Masterpiece first. So the Luke vanished to the fourth throw here, I'm pretty sure.
It did, yep.
Yeah.
And we'll see Mars uses the Anakin here to clear this Poe. Ends up not doing it. But does present lethal next turn from Cham.
Yeah, Mars is just winning the race here, right?
Looks like it. And Village Protectors picked up is a real nice one.
Yeah, true. The Krite also ain't bad, but probably not against Poe.
All right, and looks like Ferrx is just going to call it here. Not even going to play out the rest of the round.
Yeah, I think he was out of options there. So just couldn't push enough damage. I mean, you made the point, right? It's a whole 10 hit points difference in life on base, if you like. So that's a huge difference. Mars gives us the pleasure of seeing his sideboarding. Do you intend to go back to lists quickly?
Yeah, I can take a look at the list here. Let's take a look at Ferrx's more in depth because we can sort of see what's going on with Mars.
Right.
But Ferrx has Sindari Peacekeepers, which I imagine are going to come in here for the restore.
Mm-hmm.
Open Fire potentially as well. Timely Reinforcements is an interesting one. I could imagine that coming in.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, he has been lucky to get the A-Wing plus Poe pilot attack in there on turn 2 in the first game, I think. So that's something risky, especially, I mean, I'm just having a look at Mars's Anakin list, and he does play 3 Confiscate, but all inside. So they might come in now. So maybe Ferrx is looking at what are his other options, right?
Yeah, and because this is open list.
Yeah, exactly.
Ferrx may be looking at taking out Chewie's or potentially Luke's.
The Chewie also is a really nice card to go to ground, and the Chewie could, for example, threaten to, it could take an Anakin leader hostage if Ferrx has his Chewie out and he has a heroic sacrifice. He could actually take out the Anakin leader in one strike. So for that reason, I would probably keep that in. But still, true. I mean, looking at his sideboard, I think he has lots of good options there. So the timely reinforcements is at least interesting. The U-Wings also could come in after all. So let's see what he decides to bring in.
All right, looks like they're shuffling up. So game 2. If Mars wins, he's going to the top 4. Ferrx got to win 2 in a row.
And Mars decides. Both players happy with their hands here. No mulligans. Mars will bring down an Arc, which is a great play from Anakin as well, right? But he doesn't have initiative. So probably Ferrx will at least get an attack in with the A-Wing here that I expect to drop. Because if then Mars brings down the Arc and second turn uses the Anakin ability to take out the A-Wing, that's often exactly what an Anakin wants to see, right? Some damage on his own base, and then getting rid of an space threat by the opponent that has a higher HP.
Yeah, if I'm Ferrx here, I'm probably just killing this arc with the A-Wing.
Right. That makes sense, yes. He could do the same with the open fire, but I would probably just go for the A-Wing here as well. Yep. Hopefully that gets in a 2-for-1 trade, right? Let's see. He probably thought he might bring down the Peacekeeper, but now he probably just go for the Poe pilot play.
Yeah, Peacekeeper into Village People is not great.
Yeah. That's interesting that he puts that on the Green Squadron A-Wing. I would have expected that to go, the Poe leader to go to the Phoenix, but he wants to probably spread his risk a bit. Given how things are, though, the Daring Raid now can kill either of these two, right?
Yeah.
If you would have put the Poe pilot onto the Phoenix Squadron A-Wing, just the Green Squadron A-Wing would be liable to dying from the Daring Raid.
Yeah, that is true.
Still, 3 damage to base. And so let's get the race going.
Yeah, this is an interesting turn for Ferrx. If I were in their shoes, I'd probably play Sindari here. Doesn't. Yeah. It looks like they passed.
I mean, wasting the open fire on a shielded unit that seldom feels great, right?
Yeah. See, it looks like Mars went for the X-Wing without damaging it to draw a card.
And that's also really interesting. So given that play, if I were Ferrx, I would have actually considered using the open fire on the X-Wing there. So just remove that unit in space and not giving any further value to Mars here.
They might be thinking that they really want to clear this Village People so that they have a shot to ECL Poe into
True.
Into Anakin.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, actually, they're just going to do that now.
Yeah, he's using the discard and actually getting rid of the blue leader to ping the shield. Hang on. Not ping the shield, remove the upgrade, and then 2 damage to the X-Wing with Poe, and Mars answers with a Poe by himself.
All right.
So the Sundari won't do any healing, but 3 damage and another 4 from Poe gets Anakin to 10. So now we are again, as you pointed out in the first game, we're again in that situation where both players have 25 hit points remaining on base, right? Pretty incredible to see, moving into turn number 5.
All right, this is the Anakin flip turn. Ooh, pillage here.
Right.
The pillage here does give Ferrx the chance to trade Poes.
True.
And they're going to take it.
I mean, the Poe and the Peacekeeper in conjunction would actually be able to, at the cost of total loss, take out the Anakin leader here. But the Anakin would strike once, so it's a steep price to pay. And Ferrx decides that it's not worth it.
Yep, and now Mars is able to disrupt that by attacking the Peacekeeper proactively.
Right. And he didn't have anything in the row. So I'm afraid to say this doesn't look good for Ferrx now.
Well, we'll see how this round goes. They have a timely intervention, we know. So,
did he resource one? Then I missed that because he got one pillaged, right?
Maybe they didn't actually. You might be right. Yeah, I think they resourced the Chewy, not the timely.
Yeah. Otherwise, we might have actually seen it here. Mars getting on the draw engine. A little more damage to base. Making Anakin a 7-2 now. And pulling out a trick. Open fire it is.
Which happens to be the perfect card to kill K2.
Exactly. So this game, Mars definitely sees the cards that he wants to see. And Mars able to kill Ferrx's board here.
Ooh, record picked up. That's one of the only things that gets Ferrx back into this.
Yeah, but you know, Mars has the right answer on hand again.
Yep, that is true. I just saw the hand. And Mars is just going to start walking into the base here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. All right, eject.
Eject is
won't help a lot here. Oh, actually, it's a great card here because he could play the A-wing. Put for one resource, I think it costs, put the Poe onto as a pilot onto the A-wing, and then he could use eject to have a 4/6 on the ground again, right?
Yeah. I ended up not going for that line though. I guess they. Yeah, I'm not sure. That seemed like a pretty good line to me.
Mars must have a Cassian in the row, I guess. Otherwise, why wouldn't he resource it?
Yeah, must be.
Now Ferrx does what he can.
Yep.
There he is.
All right, and Steela
we
is
are one Steela.
Here.
Yeah.
And that's it. And Mars one game closer to trying to try for that title again.
Right.
After a very close
I think
one.
Rough second game, especially the second game, I think was rough for Ferrx. He didn't find the cards that he wanted to. Once he did, Mars had the right answers. So that was probably a little tough for him. Still really good to see this being played out. GG's to both players. And Rebel, my pleasure to duo cast this with you. I enjoyed this. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you too. Hopefully we can do more in the future.
Yeah, me too. Same.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. And remember to always take the initiative.